Welcome back to Cuse Countdown. I'm Max Chadwick alongside John Dales and some guy named Calvin Cristoforo. We now welcome on a very distinguished guest, the voice of the Irish, Jack Nolan. Jack, thanks so much for coming on.
My pleasure.
So listen, Jack, Nate Laszewski has really come into his own this year. He leads the team in scoring. What kind of a leadership aspect does he provide?
Well, I think he's a leader in terms of he leads by example. He's not that vocal a guy, but he's unflappable. And he will do whatever anybody wants him to do. He was being touted as an ACC Player of the Year candidate, and then other teams said, oh, no, the other guy's got to beat us, not Nate. And he hasn't gotten frustrated at all. He hasn't taken bad shots. He's done the other things. I mean, he's shooting 65% from the field, 52% from three. He's rebounding. He's the team's leading rebounder, pretty good assist guy. He's blocked 13 shots, 6 steals. He does all the little things. He's a better defender. He's just a guy that does whatever needs to be done, and he does it under the auspices or under the guidance or the molding of what the opponent is willing to give him. He never tries to force his game. And I mean, you look at a guy of his size, 6'10", who can shoot the three like that. I always thought he was a Carolina stretch three, and or stretch four. And he chose Notre Dame over Carolina, which I know irks Roy Williams to this day. But he's been an outstanding Notre Dame player, and he just keeps getting better and better.
Jack, Notre Dame is third in the ACC in three-point field goal percentage. So what makes this team so dangerous from deep?
I mean, I don't want to oversimplify because they can all shoot it, and they all have confidence. And it's not just one guy. You look at the guys who play of the 7-man rotation on this team, the only guy who doesn't shoot the three at a clip of at least 34% is Jawan Durham. Everybody else can hit 34% or higher. So, I mean, you can't just say, well, guard those two guys. Anybody who gets an open three on this team can make it. And they pass the ball really well. This Notre Dame team is very good at moving defenses and getting good shots. Now, the Syracuse 2-3 zone has always given them fits because nobody plays it better than Jim Boeheim teams, and they push you out of your comfort zone. So you really have to move that zone both to get the threes, and you got to get some points in the paint.
Jack, what can you say about Cormac Ryan, a guy who transferred from Stanford and was named captain before he ever hit the floor?
He was such a great leader last year, went to practice all the time last year, not so much this year with COVID. But he had to make that jump from not playing for a year to playing in the ACC, and from playing in the Pac-12 to playing in the ACC. Now, he was a starter at Stanford, but it's just a different level of basketball. And you combine the layoff with the athleticism and physicality of the ACC, he struggled a bit. But he is starting to come on, as shown by Duke. I mean, 28 points at Duke to lead the Irish over the Blue Devils, only their second win at Duke all time. And again, Duke is down, and I don't dispute that. But Duke's got 5 McDonald's All-Americans and another guy who just opted out because he's going to be potentially a lottery pick. And the only reason he wasn't an All-American was because he didn't play his senior year of high school. Winning at Duke even this year is an accomplishment. And I'm not sure that Notre Dame could have done it last year. But with this lineup and with Cormac just going nuts, because he went crazy in the first half, 21 points. Without him, they don't win. So it's just adjusting to this level of play. He does a lot of the little things well. He takes tons of charges. I mean, Cormac Ryan, if you look at Notre Dame's roster, would you pick Cormac to be the guy leading in steals? He's got 21 steals this year. The next closest guy is Prentice Hub, who you would expect to do it with 15, but Hub's always going for him. Cormac's not. Cormac's just defending. So, I mean, that's what I could say about Cormac so far. And he's got a very bright future in front of him in terms of a lot more eligibility at Notre Dame.
Jack, thanks so much for the time.
My pleasure. Thank you.